Welcome back to the Untouchaballs podcast and Merry Christmas Eve. Caden, how you doing today?
Doing great, holiday spirit and everything.
Yes, it is. We are in the holiday spirit. Got the tree over here. I don't know if it's in frame.
You've seen it in some of the
You've
recent
seen
episodes.
it in some of the recent episodes. We're feeling festive, good energy going on. But we got some NBA basketball to talk about, Caden.
Yeah, like they do every year, we got a big 5-game Christmas slate obviously on Christmas. So this game episode's gonna come out a day early. You'll see this on Tuesday on Christmas Eve to prepare for your Christmas Day games. Starting off first, with our morning slate, you have the Spurs visiting the Knicks, with the Knicks are a 9.5-point favorite.
Yeah, I think 9.5 is a very strong line, Caden. I think Victor Wembanyama and the Spurs do enough to cover this.
Yeah, you've seen recently with this. I mean, both teams, like the Knicks are obviously still a really good basketball team.
Yes, they are.
We've seen them where their identity is obviously different from last year, where they had a great defense. They were getting a bunch of offensive boards, and their offense was more Jalen Brunson, and that's about it. This year, they've kind of abandoned their whole defensive philosophy, even though you still have OG Anunoby and Mikal Bridges on the perimeter, where your defense has been more towards middle of the pack, but you have the best, or depending on the day you look at it, it's either the best or the number 2 offense in the entire league. So they're going to go in, they're going to put up buckets, they're going to score. Like you said, 9.5 seems a little too big, especially, Wembanyama has been insane lately, had a 10-block game just a couple nights ago. He's been putting up points. Devin Vassell is finally starting to get back into his rhythm after coming back from that injury. Chris Paul's doing what he needs to do. Stephon Kessler, they're kind of building into their new point guard, is starting to actually look good in these extended minutes. So I like the Spurs this one to come and get that cover.
Definitely can. And, piggybacking on kind of what you just mentioned there, the play of Victor Wembanyama this season has been phenomenal.
Oh, yeah.
The strides he has taken in his game, in just a short amount of time in these last couple seasons has been phenomenal. He's a freak. He's just getting better.
Oh, yeah.
And I think he's going to really try to put on a big performance on this national spotlight for Christmas.
Yeah, I mean, it's always, kind of hard to predict awards this early in the season, but it seems like he's got DPOY locked up already.
Yeah.
And we're only about a third into the season, and the DPOY is his to lose. I think, if I remember right, if you look at DraftKings or FanDuel, he's minus odds to win the DPOY. That's just how elite he's been on the defensive end this year, and still putting up over 20 to 25 points a game.
Most definitely. Versatile player. But, Caden, let's start talking about that second game.
The second game, which should be, in theory, a really good basketball game, where the T-Wolves are facing the Mavericks, where the Mavs are a 4-point favorite.
Caden, this is one of those games where it has the potential to be a, Edwards, Luka shootout, high scoring, fun game. But this could also be a one-sided affair, blowout, boring game. I am very torn on it. Ultimately, I think Ant and the Timberwolves are going to be doing enough to cover that 4.5, and I think they're going to make a competitive game. And for the fans specifically, I'm going to be rooting and hoping that this is a competitive game.
Yeah, I mean, you've seen, obviously, the Mavs are one of these top teams in the West. They're up there with the Thunder, I'd say, in the West so far this year. And then you have the Timberwolves, who are coming off that great conference finals run last year. And they've just been weird. Like you've heard us talk about this year on the pod. They've just been a weird, iffy team where the Ants still amazing. The rest of their offense hasn't been great. Their defense has been not awful, but it's obviously taken a decline from their top defense that they were last year. I just think this is a recipe where the Mavs are going to come in at home on Christmas. Luka will put up 25 to 30. Kyrie might have another 20. And just a nice, clean, easy victory for the Mavs.
Definitely what it's looking like to shape out to be, Caden. But I'm going to be hoping for a closer one.
Now this might be the biggest blowout of the day, though. You have the Philadelphia 76ers traveling to Boston to face the defending champ Celtics, where they are a 10-point favorite.
The defending champ Celtics are most likely going to dominate the 76ers, Caden. We know how just bad the 76ers team has been this year.
If Joel Embiid plays, they're bad. When he doesn't play, they're still really bad.
Yes. Yeah, they can't get much done on that offensive end, and they let people score at will. I don't see anything changing tomorrow, especially, like you said, going against the defending champs, where they just have unlimited firepower. I think that the Celtics have a really good chance of covering this 10.
Yeah, I mean, the Celtics are most likely the best team in the NBA still. Coming off this chip, you still have all your core pieces, and you've seen your bench players improve, essentially. Like, I know we mentioned him maybe a month or so ago, Peyton Pritchard.
Yeah.
He's still been great. He's still one of these best three-point shooters in the league. And when you have a team like the Celtics where about 47% of your shots are three-pointers, you need these elite three-point shooters. So then you have Derek White, Pritchard, Tatum, Jaylen Brown, even Kristaps for a big is a really good three-point shooter. It's just a recipe for success for them. And then they have great defenders, whether it be obviously Derek White is an all-defense caliber wing, and he's really blossomed since he's obviously gone to the Celtics. So it's great for Derek White and all of them. And then just their whole team is really well-rounded. Brad Stevens is a really good coach. Nice, should just be a great game for the Celtics. Big show on the national stage against who was supposed to be a really tough Eastern Conference opponent this year. And just shove them in the mouth. Yeah. Nice, easy, clean victory. Our first night game, the early night game, is between the Los Angeles Lakers and the Golden State Warriors, where the Warriors are a 4.5-point favorite.
Again, Caden, this is one where it could have the potential to be good, but I feel like the Warriors have a good chance to just start running away from this game, Caden. The Lakers have been inconsistent at best, to say, the least this season. Obviously, first-year head coach J.J. Redick has had some tremendous blowouts, and they've had some good wins. Yeah, we'll give them that, Caden. Depending on which team shows up on Christmas Day, I think if the Lakers want any hope to turn their season around, they need to get going now. But 4.5 seems like a very close line for a team in the Warriors. I think they're just better than the Lakers, and I think they're going to cover that.
Yeah, I mean, the Lakers, they started off the season looking like, oh, hey, J.J. Redick was the answer. All you need to do is get rid of Darvin Ham, and now look at this Lakers team. And now we've seen it where it's the same story as last year. They don't have three-point shooters, and the ones that shoot threes don't make threes. They barely attempt any as well, and you're relying on a 40-year-old LeBron who's still really good. He's still a top 20 player in the world.
For sure.
And AD, who's been great. You don't have your middling pieces just haven't been great. Austin Reeves has been wishy-washy. D'Angelo Russell isn't that good at basketball. Rui, when he's healthy, helps this team, but he's been injured, and he's obviously not a needle mover by any means. They're just a weird team. It seems like, especially more comes to deadline, they're going to need to start making moves or just figure out what they're going to do. Are you going to keep trying to compete, or do you trade away your stars and try the rebuild?
Yeah, do you go full rebuild and ship off LeBron and Bronny and, basically waste this past season, and forfeit the rest of the year? Or do you believe you can get some pieces and some additions within a couple trades to help LeBron and AD? Because right now, something's got to change, and it needs to change soon.
With the Warriors, though, they've kind of been on like the same story as the Lakers. They started off the season as the best team in the Western Conference, really fallen off. Then they were starting to go back up. And then just the other night against the Memphis Grizzlies, they lost by 51 points, Max. They were down by as many as 57 in that game.
Yep.
Just an absolutely horrid performance by the Warriors. And that's a game where Curry was playing. It's not like you were missing Curry or anything. He was in, and you still lost by 51 against, the Grizzlies are a really good team. We talked about them last week.
That's embarrassing.
That's embarrassing. So now you need to see how are they going to respond after losing such a bad game. They're going to be playing tonight as we record this. This will really be their first test.
Yeah.
Then on national television on Christmas Day, what are they going to be able to do? I think they'll be able to bounce back better than the Lakers here. Get the win and get the cover.
I think so.
Now our nightcap for the fourth out of, I think, 5 years. I think 4 out of 5 years now, the Nuggets get the 8:30 Mountain game. Last year was the only one against the Warriors. I don't get it. Why are you doing this to us in Denver? No one wants to watch an 8:30 p.m. game on Christmas.
We'll be watching it.
We'll be watching it, sure, but doesn't mean I wish it wouldn't have been like the 3 p.m. game.
Most definitely. I guess something's going to be on the TV when everyone's
winding down,
stomachs full of ham and whatnot. But, hey, we can't complain, Caden. There's other NBA teams who don't even get the chance to do Christmas.
And it's basically a back-to-back for the Nuggets. Not in the sense of, I guess, back-to-back against the same opponent.
Yeah.
They play tonight against the Suns at Phoenix. And then on Christmas, you're playing at the Suns. At Phoenix, where tonight, you're a 4-point favorite. On Christmas, you're a 2.5-point favorite. This line can obviously switch depending on how tonight games go. But as of right now, as we're recording, they're a 2.5-point favorite over the Suns.
Ken, we've talked about how, just disappointing this Phoenix team has been.
Yep.
With the pieces, with the names, the faces. They've underperformed all season. But that being said, they still have those pieces. They still have those names.
And the Nuggets can't play defense.
And the Nuggets, exactly, have not been able to play defense. This game's going to be a very close game, in my opinion. I would not be surprised if we see the Nuggets again go down by like 20 points just to pull it out at the very end. I think the Nuggets do get this win, but it's going to be a very close one.
Before I go into this matchup, remember that Christmas game from about 2 years ago against the Suns? Where AG went nuts in, face in, overtime, just straight
Yeah.
I remember, I'm like on my TV, I'm watching Harry Potter, because it's Christmas time, so I got Harry Potter on TV. I'm like, I need to turn on this Nuggets game, though. It's getting close. So it's on my phone while I'm watching Harry Potter. Aaron Gordon does this. It's like, I don't know, at that point, overtime, like 10:30, 11 p.m. at night. And I just start screaming in my room. Let's hope we can get some more fireworks like this on Christmas. Because, Kevin Durant has been incredible this year. He looks like he's not slowing down at all offensively. He's still great in the mid, great everywhere. He's just
who said Kevin Durant was going to slow down?
You. Hey, who said Donovan Mitchell was going to slow down?
Coldest takes to start off the season. Hey, the Untouchaballs jinx. I guess we reverse jinx those guys.
Hey, our team picks are looking pretty good, though, for that. Yeah. But the player ones, nonetheless, but then you have the Nuggets, who their offense has not been an issue this year. They're able to put up points. Everyone on their team, it seems like, can score. Even besides Jokic, people will just score points. It's on the defensive end where they lose all these games against either good teams, middle teams, or straight awful teams like the Blazers the other night where they gave up that buzzer beater. It's really going to depend on what team do you get with, kind of like you were saying in that Lakers-Warriors match.
Yeah.
Are you going to get the Nuggets that are going to put up 130 and give up 110, or put up 120 and give up 130 themselves?
Yep.
If they are able to slow down this trio of Beal, Booker, Durant just a little bit, because obviously, like you said, they're going to get their points. They're going to get their buckets. They're some of the better scorers in the association. As long as you can slow them down a little bit, get it with Jokic, MPJ, Murray. Gordon's been a little iffy since coming back from injury. But he's shown these flashes where he's had those games where he puts up about 20. They don't have that game against the Blazers where he puts up about 2. So it'll depend on kind of there, but I'm going to ride. Might be a little homer. I'm riding with the Nuggets because we need to win these games against the Suns and start getting that season rolling. Because as a lot of fans say, the season doesn't start until Christmas anyways.
Season doesn't start until Christmas. Christmas is here. Speaking of Christmas, Caden, what's one thing you want Santa to bring you this year?
I would like Santa to bring me a good left tackle for the Patriots.
And in my humble opinion, Caden, I would like Santa to bring the Denver Broncos a playoff berth.
Hey, big matchup, which we'll be talking about later this week. Big matchup on Saturday with the Bengals.
Definitely. So be sure to be on the lookout for our other episodes dropping. We had our NFL recap episode
earlier today.
Make sure you check all those and do what, Caden?
Yeah, like the video, subscribe, turn on post notifications, share with your friends, family, strangers, anyone like that. Follow the social medias at Untouchaballs_podcast on Instagram, Untouchaballs_podcast on Twitter. And
new website.
We have a website still kind of in the beta version. We're trying to get articles pumped out there. So if you like what you hear on here or just want more in-depth analysis from what you hear on the podcast, check out the website. It's theuntouchaballs.wordpress.com. So theuntouchaballs.wordpress.com.
Yes, sir. Thank you all for listening, and we'll see you all next time.